Welcome everybody to the All Heat team call. I'm really excited about tonight. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about who Chris and I are. We've been with the company for 30 years. We've had an absolutely amazing journey, and one of the best parts of our journey is the friends that we've made. And one of the friends that we've made is somebody that I'm going to get to introduce tonight. We have had so much fun with Kerry. I mean, there's so many great things to talk about Kerry in terms of who he is, who he's been in this industry. He has been in this industry for more than 30 years. He participated in the University of Chicago got a graduate certification for network marketing. He's been a promoter forever. I think since he's been 21 years old, he's been promoting fights, boxing. He's taught us how to promote. His business with his Juice Plus company is in over 23 countries. What he loves to do is mentor young people. He'll mentor old people too, though. That's what I love about Kerry, because he's going to mentor old people too. You can't not include us, Kerry. It's everybody. He's incredibly generous. He has an amazing wife, Mickey, who a lot of you got to hear on the Pajama Regional. And one of our very favorite trips I think we ever took was visiting them in Cajun country. And he took us, I think he was trying to give us a heart attack because I think that they even fry their water in deep oil. He had us dancing, he had us singing, he had us training, and we shared some really beautiful moments together. And I am so excited for all of you to meet my really good friend, who I'm really honored to call friend and mentor, Kerry Daigle. So Kerry, I'm hoping that you're going to share your story, teach us a little bit about promoting, and then we've told people to bring their questions tonight.
Well, I mean, what a great introduction. I tell you what, every time I do one of these, I like to call Nikki and just do the introductions for me. I mean, that would be fabulous. But for everyone that's listening in, I want you to know they're two of the best dressed distributors in the country. And they never age. They've been looking like they're 40 years old since they were 40 years old, on up to 45 and maybe 50 and so forth and on. They just don't age. This is the youngest couple that I know that just never ages. So maybe it's Juice Plus. I don't know. Maybe not. It's the perfect life, isn't it?
It is the perfect life. And I tell everybody I'm 70 and it's all Juice Plus.
It's amazing. And take a good look at this couple. I mean, honestly, neither one looks more than 50 max. That's it. I mean, they're incredible. But I'll tell, for those of you that don't know my story, in 1989, I was introduced to this company. It was called NSA, National Safety Associates at that time. And I rejected it. I completely walked away from it. I did not want to have anything to do with it because I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. And this guy came over. I was sharing an office with a group of attorneys. I was bartering time with them. I would help them promote their firm. There was some of the leading creditor and debtor litigators in the country. They were listed in Who's Who in American Law, big time attorneys. I would help promote their firm, and in turn, they would handle all my contractual obligations that I had with the national networks like Showtime and HBO and ESPN and Fox and so forth. So they would do all my contract work with all my professional athletes and so forth. And so we barter services to each other. And this guy came over every day for 6 weeks. Can you imagine going see someone every day for 6 weeks and every day they tell you no, they're not interested? That was me. I wasn't interested. I'm going to shorten the story up a little bit. And after about 6 weeks of him just coming every day in his own nice little way, he came over to visit one day, and I was thinking, okay, Mickey's having a birthday party with our 10-year-old that she brought into marriage. Mickey and I had been married 1 month at that time. And I said, I'm going to send him over there. And this is what I told him. And Mickey had a bunch of kids in there during the birthday party, sleeping on the floor all over the house. I said, Mickey says she's interested in joining. I will help her, but don't bother me about it again if she's not interested, because I'm just so busy with what I'm doing. Well, needless to say, he went to visit Mickey. He rang the doorbell. He got into the house, and he showed her a big, what some of you are too young to know what I'm talking about, but there was a big VHS tape at that time. And he carried his own TV inside the house. Mickey tells me this story. I wasn't there. And he played a VHS tape, and Mickey took a look at it, and she fell in love with what she saw. But I didn't know that. I figured Mickey would send him out on his rear end, and then he would not want to fool at all with asking me anything again. But it didn't happen that way. I came home that night, and Mickey's eyes were, man, huge and wide and excited. And she just couldn't wait to tell me how excited she was. Within the next 2 weeks, she quit her job. Made me a little nervous because we were married 1 month. She brought a 10-year-old in the marriage. She was making a great income, and she quits a job. So I'm thinking, now I got to pay for the 10-year-old. I got to pay for her car. I got to pay all this other stuff, and all my play money's gone, because I had play money, and doing my promotions. And needless to say, I kept watching what she was doing. I started studying network marketing. I went to a conference within 7 to 8 days of joining an international conference, saw what was going on, didn't quite understand it, and started meeting people that were involved in network marketing throughout the country. And immediately I said, I want to learn what network marketing is, because I had never even heard of Amway. Never heard of Amway. So I didn't know anything about network marketing, like zero. Needless to say, I became a first distributor. And then here I am now, after 4 years, sold all the contracts to a lot of the professional fighters. Stayed in the business later. I'm still promoting shows. I did 3 national TV shows last year, world championship fights, $1 million fighters, and all that kind of stuff. But I pick and choose what shows I want to do because of the residual income now. I want to tell you a little story about Mickey Daigle. I'll never forget this story, and I always like to tell people because it's a lesson for all of you that are listening in. I was so busy being busy that I didn't take enough time to listen. One night I'm laying down and Mickey's got this pad and she's staying up, sitting in the bed, drawing circles and writing names down. I didn't know what she was doing. And she just kind of looks at me and smiles and says, "Hey, I have a question for you." I said, "Yeah, Mick, what is it?" She says, "You know how you're always traveling and you're working with these elite athletes and you're always talking about being positive and finding a peer group and finding mentors who are more successful than you so that you could learn from them and grow your business?" I said, "Yes." I said, "I got you." And I said, "That's how I built my promotional company." She says, "Well, I just want to ask you about," his name was Emil. "I want to ask you about Emil who came visit you. What was his background? Was he successful?" I said, "Yeah." I said, not catching on right away to where she was going with this. I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't know. He's probably worth 40, $50 million. And she smiled and looked at me and asked me this question: "Why wouldn't you listen to him?" Ooh. Now I'm 6 foot tall. I'm 230 pounds. I immediately went to 3'2", and I felt I weighed like 80 pounds. She hit me right in the gut with that question. And it just woke me up. It's called shocking you into reality. So everything I was teaching, I wasn't doing. And immediately when she asked me that question, I said, whoa, why would this highly successful multi-millionaire keep coming to see me to have me take a look at this company? And needless to say, here we are over 30 years later. And the income we've developed from this, and we're not supposed to talk about income, but it's far, far better than I was doing in the promotional company, way better. And I'm promoting shows all over the world on national and international TV. So, was involved with all the big boys and still am. But this is primarily our income, number one income. This is it right here. And it's residual. It comes in each and every month, no matter what we do. So that's who we are, Nick. And it's been phenomenal. Is anything else you'd like? I know you wanted me to tell them my story. Anything else?
Yeah, there's a couple things I would love for you to talk about, and then I know you were going to open it up to some questions. The first question that I have really is if you can just give us major tips, because we don't have 2 days, but you know, you are the quintessential, that's a big word for you, Kerry, but I know you'll understand it, promoter. And there's a difference between promoting and building for events. You really are a promoter. So, you know, I know that for those of you maybe getting on the call tonight, maybe you don't realize that our conference in Phoenix has been canceled. But my guess is we're going to have some kind of live streaming. We're going to have something cooking. So just talk to us a little bit about promoting, maybe in the light of that, or promoting to local events, because I know you really are the king of that. That's my first thing, is talking a little bit about promoting. I would love for you just to give a little glimpse about why you think this particular industry is such an incredible industry, because I personally have such an respect for network marketing industry. And I know that you've been in it longer and you've been more involved and you've really watched what's going on in the world in terms of other companies and where we are. Just a few things about those two things, promoting and a little bit about the industry. And then I'd love to open it up to the team.
Well, one thing I like to tell everyone, this is so far out of the norm because everyone's been taught that network marketing is an industry. And that usually comes from people that are writing books about network marketing, and they're selling their books, they're selling their training programs, and they call it an industry. I beg to differ. Our industry really is whole food. That's our industry. Network marketing is actually the way that we distribute our products. So network marketing is a distribution system, and it's how a product is distributed from the manufacturer down to the end consumer. And we can talk about that in detail later. But that's really important to understand, because when you're sitting with a prospect that thinks they know what network marketing is, they're going to talk to you about the industry that they were in. They were in 3 or 4 or 5 other companies. They have a lot of experience in network marketing. And they may, but every network marketing distribution system is different. It's kind of like you're in the, I guess, automobile industry, but yet you sell Fords and someone else sells Bentleys. They're automobiles, they all roll, they all start, they all drive, but they're not the same vehicles. So we are in the industry of whole food. When you can understand that, you're going to recruit a lot better. When people ask you about network marketing, you can immediately say, well, I'm glad that you have worked in network marketing and learned a lot of the different distribution systems. Our distribution system, which is network marketing, is quite different. And once you understand the power of network marketing and what it really means, then you're going to be able to recruit more people, because they'll understand that it's a distribution system and how that distribution system works. And then my job is, as a partner, as a national marketing director, as a leader, as an experienced veteran that works with this company, is to explain to them what network marketing really is. And once they understand that, it becomes, you can reel them in versus trying to chase them. So that's really important. And I actually do a lot of talks, Nikki, all over the country in reference to what really is network marketing and how do you sponsor and recruit people that way. So I don't do a lot of these talks in Louisiana, believe it or not, but I do them out of the state. In Louisiana, they feel comfortable doing business the way they want to do it, and that's fine. But I do a lot of these talks out of the state and continue to do those. And it's a great way to recruit. So I guess that might answer a little bit of question about network marketing, but getting back to promoting, that's something that takes a lot. That's a seminar in its own. That's a whole weekend seminar. But I'm gonna try to cover a couple of things that could help some of you at least take a small step forward and improve your business at least by 10% to 20%. And then once you learn a lot of the other aspects, you'll learn over time, you get a lot better. First thing is to educate yourself. And you educate yourself in promotions through reading books. But I'm gonna give you some simple tips. A lot of times I'll see promotions where people make a flyer and then they send a flyer out to everyone. That's okay, but that's not promoting. That's making a flyer. Anybody can do that. Promoting is making different kinds of flyers that fit you and your team specifically. Do you have a flyer that's generic in nature that will go to a prospect? Because most of the flyers I see, probably 29 out of 30, are designed for the distributor to be able to look at, and then they try to convince a new person to come to an event where an experienced distributor understands the flyer, but a new prospect doesn't really get it. You're almost trying to pre-sell them on everything you do before the event actually happens. So the key is, what flyer are you putting together, a poster that specifically is generic in nature, promoting the speaker and that speaker's qualities, and some type of title that will be attractive enough to get that person to come to the event. Now, you don't want to hide the fact that you are associated with B Plus. So right at the bottom, is that Chris?
That's Skipper. You better
I thought maybe that was Chris. But what happens now on the very bottom of the flyer or the poster, in small print, you can have the sponsors. It could be sponsored by Cotton Enterprises. Then another little sponsorship on the bottom might be John Doe Enterprises, or whatever you want to call them. And the next one could be Juice Plus, the Juice Plus company. Then the fourth one could be someone else. It could be the hotel, if you were having it at a hotel, the name of the hotel. So you have all these little sponsors on the bottom, and it gives it a bigger picture for the guest. Because remember, what is the event really all about? It's about guests. So if you put the flyer together correctly for your guests, then you're going to be able to get a guest there. That's really important. So what do you sell? You don't sell Juice Plus. You don't sell anything, but if it's a restaurant, you sell the food, you sell the restaurant, you sell the community of the people that you're getting ready to meet, and you sell the speaker. You don't sell Juice Plus. The event's going to sell Juice Plus. Another thing in promoting and recruiting and sponsoring, it's real important that to be successful, you have to understand you start immediately with a conversation. You have to get into conversations. That's what promoting is all about. And then that conversation leads into, and what I call an invitation. Now notice you're not selling anything at this point except the event, which is what you want to get that person to. And the event could be this call tonight. It could be a live conference call that's not Zoom. It could be a live event at someone's home. It could be an international conference. It could be one of the events put on by corporate, or an event put on by you. So now it's about conversation, to get good at invitation, and then that's when the presentation happens. And the presentation might be a three-way phone call. It could be an invitation to a three-way phone call. All of those things I mentioned are events. They're all events, but you have to get there through conversation and invitation, and then you let the event, the presentation happen at that point with another party that assists you. And it could be a group of people, the event, or just a simple three-way phone call where you have another expert on the other line. You're going to see the improvement on your recruiting and sponsoring go up dramatically. So those are magical. There's some other things too. The old adage of there's so much today, that there's so much technology that people are lost in technology. And because everyone's using technology, it's very common. So you have to do some things that are much different to get people's attention, to bring them into the business with you. One thing I believe in is postcards. if you think about it, postcards, how many of you still remember getting a postcard? Maybe you've gotten a postcard recently from someone, and you're going to remember who did a handwritten postcard to you, because that's not very common. And it takes a special amount of time to be able to send it out. So every day in the morning, minimum 3 up to 5 postcards I mail out. And I have different kinds of postcards. For example, this is just a standard postcard, just has my website on it. Now, why do I have my website on there? To arouse curiosity. They go on and they check out Kerry Daigle. They get to see who I am, so I'm branding myself to that person, okay? On the other side, of course, this is a boxing postcard. So naturally, I've got the people that work with me from the PR department. And then here I put the address, and then on the other side, I write the note that I'm sending someone. Then one of the others I have is, once I've introduced them to Juice Plus and so forth, I have the Juice Plus postcard, but not, this is like similar to the one you can buy at the home office, but then it's a lot different. You see, it's mine, it's personalized. Notice the address in the corner. So it's personalized. Notice on the bottom, the people that we associated with, all the charitable groups. That catches people's attention, doesn't it? It sure does. So this also goes out to people. And then I have another postcard that brands who I am. Here's a postcard that it talks about Kerry Daigle. There's the 4 books that I authored and a little bit about my talks. I'm a mental fitness coach. These are the countries I do business in. And on the other side is where I'll write the information and the notes, and I have the mailing address, and I put the stamp. So again, this promotes who I am when I'm doing the conversation part leading to the invitation. You know, someone I met maybe recently, well, I tell them great service, great meal, whatever. They get to meet Kerry Daigle. So my name is implemented in their mind, and they get to know who I am. This is real important. This is part of promoting and branding yourself. Little things like business cards. Okay, I'm gonna show you 4 different business cards I have. A lot of people have one business card and it's boring. You know, I hate to tell you, but everybody's got a darn Juice Plus business card, and they hand out the same Juice Plus business card to everybody they meet, and that same person probably got 10 of them from 10 other people. So who are you? You're no one special. You're one of a group of a whole bunch of people looking for the same thing. Here's Juice Plus, and I want to sell it to you. Well, I have a Juice Plus card. Here it is. That's the kind of Juice Plus card that you will see that you can buy from the Juice Plus company. And it's good to have it. The back is blank. Who gets these cards? Sideline. I don't give this to a prospect. So when I go to a conference, everyone's asking me for a business card. You're going to get this card because I'm not prospecting you. So if you want to find out how to reach me, here you go. You can have this card. You know, now someone that's already a distributor and is in my team and they've been in business quite a while, they'll get a card like this. But at the beginning, nah, they don't get this card at all. When I'm prospecting, they're going to get, and here's another card. Here's another Juice Plus card. This is just jazzed up a little bit. Okay, this also goes out to a lot of the Juice Plus people. The back side's a little different. As you can see, it's got all my contact information, all the different Facebook pages and so forth. Naturally, I put on their business development. I don't put anything, pictures of the product, anything, and that's just my brand and name of the company. Another card that I have, because I'm a sports agent, naturally in combat sports, here's my card with my website, and here's my information as a boxing promoter and advisor in combat sports. Then here's another card, depends who I'm talking to. This is me, just a generic Kerry Daigle. Again, like the postcard, change your thinking, change your income, okay? Here's a picture of me and some of the titles that I speak. In reference, I'm a speaker. Here's some of the books that I published. On the back side, here's the names of some of the keynotes that I do, some of the keynote talks that I do. So, and I also have about 3 other business cards. And so you're thinking, well, man, that's a lot of business cards. Who do you know which one to give to someone? That's common sense. Think about it a little bit. Carry 2 or 3 with you. You're talking to a prospect, be smart. You know, you probably want to brand yourself first to get a conversation going so you can get to the invitation that leads to the presentation. So it's all about promoting. Here's a great book on promoting. It's called Self-Promotion for the Creative Person. So how do you learn all this? Look, I'm a high school graduate. My education came from books and mentors. And those that continue to read and learn are going to grow. That's the difference in this business of people that are making 5 figures a month to those that are making 4 figures a month. Big difference. And some are making mid 5 figures a month. I'm not saying that's going to happen to any of you, but you got to put the time in to make that happen. You've got to be creative. You got to constantly be thinking. So another thing is that as a promoter, you become what I call the chief cheerleader in your organization. For example, we just heard from Nikki that the international conference is not scheduled. It's canceled because of the coronavirus, right? So, I mean, that's what we heard. But let me tell you what a real leader does. A real leader immediately will promote an event for their team, either at their home, in a hotel, or somewhere, some venue, to promote and do a training and bring in 1 or 2 speakers that work within their team and lift that team up and create leadership by putting them on stage. Now, first you got to teach these people how to speak. That's another challenge. But if you give them a PowerPoint, heck, I mean, I get a 4-year-old to do a presentation with a PowerPoint. That's pretty simple. Snap, 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 look, snap, read, snap, read, snap, read. Anybody can do that. And remember, if you're on stage, you're an expert. You know, but people have to be taught how to speak properly. And some people want to be taught and others don't. They figure they got it all figured out, but you got to be taught with people with experience that can teach you the hot buttons, what you need to know, but you got to be willing to go to your leadership and say, I want to be taught, teach me. They're not going to chase you down. You've got to go and say, I want to be taught, because when you're going to get on that stage, your business is going to change. It's amazing that when you sit with someone one-on-one and you tell them something, they will listen and hear about 50 to 60%. But when you're on that stage and there's an audience of 10 or 15 or 50 or 100, all of a sudden you're an expert. So when they see you on that stage saying the same thing, they're sold. They're in, because you're the expert. You're on the stage. It's all psychological, but it works. So these are things you have to learn to be able to be a great promoter of who you are and your business. And again, keep in mind that you've got to be very creative. These are just some of the things. There's so many things that you can do to grow your business. And I'm excited. I'm scheduled in the next 5 months, not here in Louisiana. I don't get asked to speak here too much. I promote events here mostly. I like to promote events, and I like to put people on stage and create leaders. So my job, think about it as a sports agent, is to create champions, right? So my job is to get them to the top level and become what we call world champions in combat sports. So the same thing with this business. My job is to create leadership. I just had a big regional, 2 of them in New Orleans. I didn't speak at either one of them, but I promoted the event and I brought leadership that I'm working with and put them on stage to give them the credibility, not only within their team, but also for them to grow personally. That's part of promoting. So your job, you have Nikki and Chris Cotton, who absolutely are 2 of the most respected national marketing directors in the country. So if they promote you like she just promoted me and introducing me, what do you think people are going to think about you when Nikki introduces you on stage? Because she's masterful at it. I didn't give her this information. She went research it because she's got experience. And she got up there and she says, this is who Kerry Daigle is. Bam. So getting up there and promoting your speakers is just as important. That's how you create leadership and create confidence. And of course, the books. You know, here's some books. be a network marketing superstar. This lady may be does the very best books on direct sales, Mary Christensen. She actually spoke at one of our conferences. So she has several books, Be a Network Marketing Superstar. This is a really good one she has, Be a Network Marketing Leader. She has 4 or 5 different ones. Here's a great book, Building an Empire. I keep showing you books because this is how I educated myself in this business. I learned, these are my mentors, in addition to live people. You know, The Master Motivator, Secrets of Inspiring Leadership. How do you inspire people? You want to learn how Generation Z works? Are you studying Generation Z? Or are you just kind of guessing on what Generation Z is all about? You want Generation Z in your organization? Know how they think. Read the books. What's a sponsor? This is not on direct sales. How to be a better leader by investing in others. It's not about direct sales, but you have become a sponsor. It's the sponsor effect. When you sponsor someone, you are a leader bringing in a team of people who create other leaders. This book will teach you that. Here's another one. Be a recruiting superstar. Guess who? Mary Christensen. Here's another one. Building a Network Marketing Business by Scott Weil. This guy is phenomenal. He's just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant guy. The New Entrepreneurs by Renee Raid Yarnell. Her husband passed away, Mark Yarnell. He actually served on a board of directors with me of a direct sales organization that oversaw over 2,000 companies that utilize the distribution system of network marketing. Notice I said the distribution system of network marketing. You didn't hear me say industry, because that's where you're losing people, because people come to you and you get excited because they say, oh, I've been in network marketing. I have experience. They don't. They have experience with that particular company who use that particular system, but their product and their industry was maybe telephones, maybe it was makeup, maybe it was hair products. Who knows what it was? It was maybe water filtration products, but that doesn't make them an expert in network marketing. Chances are they're not. They don't know anything about what you're doing. Your industry is whole food. So when you understand that, and you understand how to deliver and promote this in a different way, your business changes. There's just some great, this is a great book. This is the thing, when you first sign up, you become an entrepreneur for $52 a year. Now you're gonna act like one. Boom, this is a great book, Rise and Grind. This guy's, you've probably seen this guy before on national TV on the Shark Tank, you know? I mean, it's just so much information out there. Here's a good one that I love.
I'm picturing this stack of never-ending books in front of you, Kerry. It's making me laugh. I'm imagining it going right up to the ceiling. It's hilarious in my head.
Well, I used to have over 1,000 to 1,500, and they're all associated with promoting and direct sales and personal development. But here's one, The Art of the Personal Letter. Think about, I bet you everyone that's listening in, if I asked you, when was the last time you had a personal letter that you received, you're gonna remember who sent it to you. See, that's the power of sending the postcard. What's everybody doing? Very impersonal with a text. It's good to get attention and to get an invitation, but sooner or later, you gotta be able to be different and get people's attention. Today, the postcard is different. You know, you actually, a lot of you millennials that are listening in, there's something called a stamp. You can lick it. You don't even have to lick it anymore. You can take it and it just self-sticks, and you can put it on a card. I mean, it's something you've maybe never seen, but you need to take a look at what they are. It's amazing. They work really well. People still get mail. And if you get a handwritten card, you've given them special attention. Today, last week, I wrote a little card to a manager of a restaurant about 2 waiters that waited on me and how excellent their service was. And the food was outstanding, is what I said. Well, I got a phone call from one of the waiters, the servers, that called me up and said, my manager told me what you did. I just wanted to call and thank you because my number's on there, right? Okay. I just wanted to call. If not, they can find it on Facebook. I wanted to call and thank you. You made my day. Thank you. Please ask for me every time you come in. In fact, I'm coming in tomorrow and I'm going to ask for you. Are you working? Yes. They're going to be one of my new customers. I don't know if they're going to be a distributor yet, but they're going to be a customer from a postcard. So and I've been doing that for 30 years. So it works. These are just some little elements in promoting.
Kerry, this is really, these little tidbits, I had no idea the direction that you were going to go when I asked about promoting, and I don't think I've heard all of these from you before. We've probably got about 10 minutes left. And I see that one person asked a question, and I don't want to necessarily cut Kerry off, but if you have any questions that you are dying to ask Kerry, he's been in this system of distribution longer than anybody I know. He knows more about it than anybody I know. He knows more about promoting than anybody I know. And he really knows how to raise leaders. So if you've got some questions, put them on the chat right now. I already saw one question here earlier, but are we good with if we get some questions from you right now, Kerry?
Yeah, ask away. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm ready.
Right. So the first one that I see here is, it says, what is the best way to capitalize on the current events of today, even with the obstacles of people scared to be in a room with other people? So I guess in the idea that people are now afraid to go out and be in large groups, how would you be promoting things in light of that right now? What might you be doing? I think that's what that question meant.
Well, I wouldn't have any fear there. I mean, you just got to be able to protect yourself in the best way possible. And they're kind of telling you what to do, to wash your hands, and don't shake hands. I mean, if you don't shake their hands, tap them on the butt, whatever you want to do.
That's going to get you in way more trouble. It's elbow and toe tapping. Now we're toe
tapping. Or, just walk up there and pow, a little tap on the butt or something, whatever you want to do. But just have some fun, enjoy yourself. The thing is, in small crowds and small audiences, your chances could be very slim. I mean, you have more problem getting the regular flu than you will
absolutely
this. So what happens, here's what I've learned a long time ago, and this is just my perspective. This is me, Kerry Daigle. So you don't have to go out and you do whatever you think is the right thing to do. But in my opinion, the media, here's how the media works. How do we sell a pay-per-view show that we're doing with two pugilists that are fighting each other for a world championship? Well, you got a press conferences, right? Okay, so you promoting, you selling the event, you doing press conferences. Then you have what we call a weigh-in. Well, they go to the weigh-in and man, they might shove each other at the weigh-in. Okay, so they're creating some energy and they're creating a little bit of negativity, which the networks can't wait to shoot. I mean, this is mild. Look at this, man. They kind of shoved each other. This would be great. So it's all over the news. So what happens? Bad news sells. You don't see good news in the media. So they have to go for ratings. And if they go for ratings, they get more money in advertising. So right now, that's why you see a political divide right now between Democrats and Republicans. And I don't want to get into politics in any kind of way, but there's a political divide there. And so the media is feasting on that, and rates for advertising have gone up tremendously because people are tuning in all this garbage. Same thing with what we're going here. If there was some good news, people won't tune in for good news. You got to go looking for good news. That's why you go online looking for good news. So if there's a lot of bad news, people are tuning in. Well, the rates for for advertising goes up. It creates viewership. So that's important for you to understand. That's how the media works. If you look, it's called news. It's about a murder. It's about a tornado. It's about someone getting shot. It's about a wreck. It's about a plane crash. It's about coronavirus.
Yeah,
Okay?
man, I could not agree with you more. And I think, you know, what you focus on is what you get more of. So if we're concerned about having meetings, let's just focus on what could happen at a great meeting, what we could be in community together. And let's wash our hands and bump elbows and just not worry about it. And take the
What an
drama.
opportunity, Nikki. Think about this. Okay. Now, I don't want anyone listening in to go make any claims about Juice Plus is going to put you in a position where you could be immune from the coronavirus. Okay. You don't want to do that. You don't even talk about the coronavirus. Right now, all you have to do is talk about, I've got a product that can help build your immune system, and you pull the study out that proves it. Let the study do the work for you. You don't have to mention coronavirus. In fact, don't mention it, because they know you have to rebuild your immune system. Right now is a time, because we can work online like we're doing right now, and you can go on and talk about building immune systems, and you will get more customers than you ever got in your entire life. So it's as a time to turn what we call something that is negative into an opportunity. So you got to be able to pay attention to what's going on. That's what promoters do. What can we do to pull more butts in seats? How do we do it? You got to pay attention to the details. What's the positive here? So this is huge for us to build our business. Now I want to repeat something one more time too. This is important. If you're a real leader, if you consider yourself to be a leader, and if you feel I'm offending you, I really don't give a damn. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you're a real leader and we don't have a conference, you're gonna put an event together for your team and you're gonna lift them up. And if you haven't done one before, get off your butt and go do one. I don't care if 5 people show up. You want to grow a business? Get with the program. If you want to build a big business, you talk about why you aren't making 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10,000 or more a month. Chances are you're not paying the price to do what's necessary. Now I'm slapping some of you in the face, I'm sure. And a lot of people may get aggravated with me, but you know what? I really don't care, because my job is this. My job is to make you understand what the truth is. The truth is that you have to go out there and pay the price like the Cottons have to build a business. They have paid the price. They've been told no more than any one of you that are on this call right now. They've been rejected more than anyone that's listening in. They've been shot down more than anyone. They've been disgusted. They've been depressed. They've had distributors that absolutely wondered why they brought them in the business. And yet they're still available and talk to them every day. That's why they are where they are today. You got to pay the price. Why did they do this call tonight? Why did they have a speaker tonight? Because they want to lift you up to be the greatest person that you can be in this company. And the only way you're going to do that, my grandpa used to tell me in my book, Dreams, Fairy Tales, and Miracles, my grandma told me this. This is what she told me all the time. You want to get on your feet? You want to get on your feet? You want to be successful? I said, yeah, Mama, yeah. You know what she told me? Well, get off of your ass. So, I mean, that's exactly what you need to do. It's about going to work. You can have all the excuses in the world, or you can have all the reasons you want to move forward. We've got a lot of people that can move forward and move up another ladder, but you got to pay the price. They get depressed with a few no's, a few rejection, and this and that. I mean, you know, to be successful, there's a price you got to pay. You got to go through the wars to be able to get there. You got to crawl through the barbed wire. You got to get muddy. You got to get in there. You got to bust your ass like you never have before. And I'm going to tell you what, the payoff is phenomenal. But if you want to make $500 to $1,000 a month, you don't have to listen to anything I told you tonight. Because I can get my little Maltese to make $500 a month. You know what I mean? That's simple. You know, but if you want to build a dynasty, you've got to stick with it and stay there. And you know what's sad? A lot of people I see that I know could be superstars quit before the opportunity really shows up for them. It happens every time. But before they leave, there's somebody they left behind that takes that baton and starts moving forward. They should have hung around. Example, There were 8 people above us, all national marketing directors, that quit. 8. 8. Where are they today? Probably eating cornbread and maybe toast somewhere, because they got involved with other companies and went out of business. They're sick. They can't believe it. I see them occasionally. I can't wait to tell them how great we doing. And it looks like they want to pass out right there. You know, but you know what? It is what it is. I asked them to hang around. They didn't want to. Bing.
Hey, Kerry, I don't want to one-upman you, but I think there was probably 20 plus people between us and Jeff Roberti, and now there's 1.
Example.
I think there was
Another
20,
example.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Another example. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's magical. People need to hear this. All of you need to hear this. Need to hear this. Can you imagine the people that walked away from having the team with the Cottons? I call that quitters. Sorry. Quitters. I hate to say it. It is what it is. You can have losers and you can have winners. You got to choose to be a winner. You got to make that decision. Nobody makes that decision for you. You make it. And when you're going to make that decision, things are going to change. The books. Got to have the books, man. You got to have the mentors. And look, I'm not blowing their horn too much. I'm going to tell you the facts. These 2 know exactly what they're doing. So if they're telling you tomorrow morning that you need to wear a red shirt with a pink cap and show up and speak, don't ask any questions, put on the pink cap, put on the red shirt and show up, they know something you don't know. Just trust me.
Show up and step up.
Step up.
So,
well, you got another question? You got time? I'll hang around.
Well, we're probably over our 45 minutes. I just want to let you just go, because I know one of the things that I'm seeing here, Kerry, is, listen, everybody, this is somebody who has been in this business for over 30 years. He's probably more excited today than he has 20 years ago, and you see it. You feel it. You're hearing it. I'm seeing the comments on the side here saying, I'm totally inspired. I heard Chris just say that the other day, but when right now it's being said again, it's really got me pumped and moving. This is the energy that Kerry brings to the picture that you get to bring if you choose to. If you choose to. And that's really what it's about, Kerry.
Well, you know, another thing in promoting, this is real important. Although I'm working, we have teams here in the Louisiana and the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. I have new teams I'm building right now in other areas, but I never talk about those teams to this group. The reason I don't is because it's about this group. You follow me? It's about the group that you're working with. It's not about comparing them to anyone. It's about them specifically. That's really important as a leader, that you learn to work with that team specifically. And you work with them at the pace that they want to work. And you know, they'll be in touch with you when they need you. They have a prospect, they'll call you for 3 ways. And if you're not doing 3-way phone calls, you're losing out. This is the most powerful way to build a team. And let me tell you about 3 ways. Part of promoting. You do not have to line up an appointment to do a 3-way. 85% of my 3-way phone calls are done on the cuff with no appointment. Why is that? If I'm calling my prospects, Chris and Nikki Cotton, and I have someone on the phone that's more experienced than me, and they don't answer, and I get a voicemail, we're gonna leave 2 voices real excited on the voicemail. And I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Psychologically, it's been proven in sales that when people when they hear these 2 voices, the people get excited more than they hear 1 voice. 1 voice is a salesman, 2 voices a team together that's interested in that person. And if it's a voicemail, this is what I've experienced in my 30 plus years in the business. They play the message over and over again, and they even get other people to listen to it with 2 voices. So Nikki introduces me, high energy. I say what I have to say. 1.5 minutes, I'm off. Nikki closes in about 15 seconds. Man, sorry we missed you. Man, this is phenomenal. I couldn't wait for you to meet Mr. Daigle. Bang. You leave those messages and you do a bunch of those every single day, 3 or 4 or 5. They don't have to answer. In fact, if they don't, sometimes it's even better. So if they do answer, then you got to be the master at asking good questions. Not selling, asking good questions. That's another training all on its own.
Well, Kerry, first of all, I know there's lots of questions, but it's 6:52 and we've got another call happening on this number in the next few minutes. So first of all, I really appreciate, Debbie, I keep seeing you up front on my little thumb and your smile is delightful tonight. I mean, you are just nodding and smiling and laughing and I'm loving seeing that. That's part of also by promoting is who's in the audience giving the energy to the speaker. And I really appreciate seeing that tonight from you, Deb.
Yeah, well, Kerry is infectious. I mean, his smile just gets me every time.
But I guess we have to have you more on, Kerry. So again, I'm going to close this up tonight because normally this is a half-hour call, but knowing who we had on the phone tonight, it just seemed appropriate to give the time. And again, I loved watching you get wound up. I loved watching you build your own fire and then explode. That's the best ever. So
here's your job. Here's what your job is. That's what promoters do. People come to you on fire, right? Your job is to create a blaze from that fire. That's your job. Create a blaze.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Fan that flame. So I am going to just have everybody unmute yourselves and really give Kerry an amazing Heat team. Thank you. Shout out a word of appreciation that you loved about tonight. Unmute yourselves and go for it. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kerry.
Awesome.
Amazing.
I really appreciate you.
All right. Totally grateful. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week, and we will be doing something.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Live streaming.
You call anytime. Whatever it takes to help the Cottons, I'm there. Because I mean,
All
Chris
right.
and I were in business at one time selling Russian jackets. We'll talk about that later.
I see you kept one. I see you kept one.
That's another story. Another great one. Love
That's a
you
great
all. Good
story.
night, everybody.